Hey everyone, so today I'm going to share with you my review of Andy Harrington's Public Speaker University. It's a 4-day training on public speaking. I'm going to tell you all about it. I don't know if you heard of Andy Harrington. If not, check him up. This is a guy that I've known for a while. In fact, years ago, I attended one of his events where he does Tony Robbins style events of 3 days, doing all those, fire walking and things like that. So I've always been captivated by his style, how he dominates the stage when he does speeches in front of audience, hundreds of people, thousands of people. He's done speech in front of in Wembley Stadium, in front of tens of thousands of people, and I've been there a few times listening to his speeches, how he tells the story, how he captivates the audience. So I always wanted to learn from him. And so when I found out that actually he has a course teaching all that, I definitely want to attend that. However, I want to let you know actually, because I never had any, I don't have ambition of becoming a public speaker right now. I don't want to sell on stage. That's not what I want to be doing. At the same time, I know because of how I want to grow my brand and, like I do doing these videos for my YouTube video, and also I want to grow my brand, create my own coaching programs and all those things. That's also what he teaches. So that's really why I attended the 4-day event. It wasn't because I want to do public speaking right away, but it's because I want to learn how to tell my story in a way that captivates the audience, in a way that makes an impact. So who is this review useful for? If you are planning to do public speaking and you want to master that to become really confident public speaker, to be able to captivate your audience, then this is for you. If you perhaps just want to become a good storyteller, that's really one of the reasons I signed up to this event, because what Andy teaches is this expert storytelling formula that really breaks everything down and teaches all that, how to tell your story in a way that captivates your audience, in a way that allows your audience to buy into who you are, relate to you and your message. Story is one of the most powerful things in today's marketing, I would say, whenever in any area really. If you want to grow your brand, and or if you want to do presentations, if you want to do public speaking, if you just want to do videos like this, storytelling is really key. So that was one of the main reasons I attended this, because I wanted to learn and practice the art of storytelling. Number 3, if you want to, who is this really useful for? The Public Speaker University. If you want to position yourself as an authority in your industry, in your field, again, this is going to be really relevant for you, because that will be covered exactly how you craft your expert positioning story and the messaging, and also your products. So that'll be there. Also, it's useful for people that actually want to sell products on the stage. So that's one of the things that also Andy is a really expert in, and he teaches all that, how you can first build your product, how you then communicate all its benefits to your audience, and then how you sell it on stage. So that's another thing that you can expect from this training. Now let me jump in and tell you exactly what happens during those 4 days. So I'm going to give you a 2-minute overview, what's going to happen, what can you expect of the 4 days. So just to recap, this is a 4-day training in place. You go there. This happened in somewhere in around London normally. This particular one I attended 2 months ago was in Kent. I stayed 3 nights there in the hotel. It takes place in a hotel in the function room there, with about 50 to 100 people, I would say. So it's really intense. 4 days, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. full on. What can you expect and what actually happens? Let me break that down for you. Day 1, I've got the titles here. I'm going to read for you. So day 1 is presentation skills and storytelling. He starts by telling the story, what he calls the stress-free speaker system. Actually, this covers things like your stance on the stage, your gestures, your body language, and all that's covered in the stress-free speaker system. The next thing that covers on the first day is the 3 Summit storytelling system. Now this part is critical. In fact, I'm going to share a screenshot here. You can see how it looks like. The 3 Summit storytelling system, this is one of the key elements that I wanted to take away, the storytelling. And this is very fascinating. He breaks down exactly how all the great speeches, all the great storytellings are built of. You know, how the Hollywood movies, how they are constructed from 3 peaks, 3 summits. And he goes into every element. Now, here's the thing. Here's why I think this training is really powerful and why I found it really useful for me is because everything you learn straight away you put in practice. So what happens when they showed us the storytelling, how it showed us how it works, then we went on straight away work on telling our story. We had 1 hour to craft it, and we were put into teams, like small teams of 10. We had a coach assigned to us to help us to answer questions, an hour to craft the story, and then listen to this. And then actually we had to deliver a story right away. Take a short break and then deliver the story. Now this was nerve-wracking. I mean, imagine just having 1 hour to craft your story and then have an hour to deliver it. Really nerve-wracking, but I think that's really what made this powerful these days. It does really push you out of the comfort zone. I mean, I would never do that. For weeks and months, I knew even Andy's content. I listened to someone, he's got lots of free content, he's got a book. I knew this, how he teaches the formula of telling the story, but I had lots of ideas what my story looked like, but I actually had never practiced it because I always postponed it. Oh, I don't know, I don't know how to do it. But here it is. We had 1 hour, we had a coach, he showed us how to do it, and I delivered my story. And of course it wasn't perfect, but I did it, and that's what happens. You know, the sooner I did it, I knew immediately how I can improve it on the next time. And I went on to tell that story now in ways that I couldn't possibly believe I never done before, really. So that part of it, yeah, that was really powerful. So that's really day 1. We delivered our story, got the feedback from the coach. Day 2, let me move on to day 2. Day 2 was about crafting your unique branded methodology. So this is how you build your own brand. This is how you craft your intellectual property into a product and a service that you can actually package and explain. You know, Andy has these systems, how he formulates everything into systems, how you create things like the 3 Ps or the 7. Think about 7 habits of effective people, right? Creating something like that, your own product in a formula way. What I've done, I mean, I show you here. I was delivering my speech. It was on something I called the Good Life Business System. Is the product that I developed during those days, and that's something that actually I'm working on now, that I'm going to launch soon. And actually I got a real, again, the power of being in the room. I had tons of ideas how I want to create a product, and the first version I did, and we delivered it again in front of people there. It wasn't good at all. I came up with the 7 Ps of how to build a lifestyle business. I wasn't happy with it, so I got some feedback at the end of that presentation, and one of the guys told me, you know, you're all about lifestyle business. He mentioned this song to me, The Good Life. This is the good life, why not call it Good Life Business System? So that's how that came across, by just sharing ideas and bouncing ideas of each other and receiving feedback, is how I came up with this, the Good Life Business System, which I'm gonna cover really on my next videos. That's gonna be my product I'm working on right now. Now moving on to day 3. What did we do on day 3? Day 3 was designing the main content. Again, we went deeper into other components of how you deliver your content, your speech, how you use various techniques such as asking questions, such as using rhetorical questions, such as using things like, let me check my notes here, actually I don't remember all of it off the top of my head. Using things like associations, power of association, how to relate to audience, how to be a bit controversial, things like disagreeing with common beliefs. and how to start the whole thing really in a way that draws and captivates the audience. Yeah, so those are the things that we covered, really what he calls the kickstart content creator. And this is the explanation that Andy, how he defines that, is building your talk point by point. Mastering this module means you will be most captivating speaker your industry has ever seen. Think about that. Not bad, huh? So that what happens on day 3. Now, again, that day we did speeches put into groups, and that particular elements and these formulas which we learned, the system we learned, we put in practice with the mini speeches lasting 10 minutes and receive feedback from the coach. So again, element by element, we've done already 3-4 mini speeches by end of day 3. So moving on to day 4 now, that's where we put everything together into a final complete 20-minute speech. Yeah, that was the most difficult part. In fact, at the end of day 3, I finished like 8 o'clock, and I even had for my work an hour call I had to do for my business, and then we had a quick sandwich and worked with the rest of the team, rest of the people there, and worked on our speeches, the final speech practices until 11-12 midnight. Something I regretted, because then I couldn't sleep. My head was spinning around with all these ideas and how I want to improve what I was doing, so I didn't sleep much. I woke up really feeling awful, something that I regret. I should have just gone to bed, and sleep and wake up more fresh and really trust what we have learned. But anyway, that's what happened. I woke up, didn't really feel up for doing it at all. I was tired, I hadn't slept, but nevertheless we just had to do it. Yeah, we went on and do it. This is the kind of thing I would never have done on my own, even if I had all the knowledge of how to do it, to just get up and do a speech in front of a live audience and receive feedback day after day. I think that's where really growth and improvement happens, which is what I experienced during these 4 days. Now, going back to the 4th day, so I went there, I got up. In fact, I'm going to share with you, here I am standing and delivering my final speech. So that's where we put all the components together, everything from how we stand in front of the audience to how we tell our story. That's how we start, then how we transition into explaining our product, the program that I had put together, and then how we go into explaining element by element of what that consists of, and then finishing it all off with an impactful end that want people to actually ask for my services, my consulting services, want to buy what I have to offer. So we put all those components together and did a 20-minute delivery. Again, I thought it's gonna just go terrible. I had doing the small parts bit by bit was fine, but putting it all together and remembering with so little practice, I definitely didn't feel ready, but I did it. I did it, and looking back again, it was better than I expected. It's one of the good things when you actually get out there and do it. And again, the most important thing for me was the feedback I received immediately. I knew the areas I need to practice more on and how I could improve it on. So that's it. That was the 4th day. I came away. Again, I used all that content to put through. My first actual use of everything I learned is to put it all into a webinar. So that's another thing. You don't have to, this all the same techniques that you learn can be used on a webinar or on doing these kind of YouTube videos. So it doesn't have to be just for speaking in front of an audience, live audience. So for me, I put all those elements, particularly the system that I developed here, the unique branded methodology, how to create your own branded product, the system that I put everything that I know, all the things I've learned, I put them now into this system according to Andy's formula, and that's what I'm putting it into a webinar, which I'm launching soon. So that's how I made immediate use of everything I learned. And of course, the storytelling is something that components, something I use every time I want to do. That's how I really launch any speech I want to do, which is really useful. So that's my review. Hope you find it useful. If you're considering this and you have questions, comment below. And also, one thing I'm going to share with you below in the description is a link to how Andy actually shares how some of the student case studies, some of the previous students, how they first did their story. One of them is called Vivian. We saw that video at the day, how she done her first speech. She had recorded that and sent to Andy. I mean, it had all the things that we learned, but it was by no means ready for actually standing in front of an audience and doing a speech. It had lots of problems, and then Andy worked with her and improved on her, and then we saw how she actually delivered the speech. It was pretty amazing. The change from where she was in the beginning to where she got, it was pretty astonishing. So that video, actually, you can see, I put a link below, and that case studies, so you can actually get a sense how these speeches look like. There's an example there on the link that I'm sharing below. Other than that, hope you found this useful, and see you on the next episode.